All right, so we are live. So welcome everyone. Today is Friday. It is our weekly Q&A day. We do have a special guest joining us here in just a few minutes, which is Robin Alex, who is the other co-founder of HighLevel. I think there's actually three, but he is going to be joining us soon. And I want to make sure that everyone knows how to join here. So let me share my screen. So what you want to do is you want to go to bridgetbartlett.com. You can also go to the resource area, but if you're just brand new and you have no idea where to go, just go bridgetbartlett.com. You can go to the events calendar here, and you're just going to want to click on today's date, and you'll see access to the Zoom meeting, or you'll go to this page here where you'll log in with your credentials, and then you'll just want to click this button here, and then you can join us in the Zoom meeting. So if you are already, or you're already in the resource area, all you have to do is just go to training.myvisionagency.com. You're going to want to go to Zoom support, and you'll see weekly Q&A. You just want to click there, and then go ahead and click this button, and then you can get access to our weekly Q&A session. So today, when we spin the wheel, we are going to have a prize of 5 reseller licenses if you guys decide that that is your prize. But you do, if you're watching anywhere else, you do have to be in the Zoom meeting to be entered into the drawing. Hey, Alex, how are you? Or Robin, Alex, I'm sorry. I was looking at your name. I read Alex. Sorry about that.
No worries.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. We're so glad to have you here. You guys definitely feel free to raise your hands if you have questions or whatever. But I personally have not met Robin, so I am super excited to pick his brain, and loving the HighLevel shirt, by the way. I need to
Thank you. Yeah, we have
maybe it'll be in my
store.
swag bag or something at the event, right?
Yeah. No, we're putting together some prime swag for everybody.
Cool. I'm excited to be sporting some HighLevel gear.
So,
Robin, I would love to just know a little bit of background about you. Like, how did you get started in this industry? There's a fly I've been complaining about. It's all over the place right now. So how did you get started in this industry, and how did you team up with Sean and start HighLevel? Like, what's the background story?
yeah. So, I've been an entrepreneur for many years, started other businesses, and, really closest was in IT. There was a lot of money being spent by small businesses where, you're trying to bring servers into a closet and network racks and things like that. And small businesses were spending, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 to redo their network. And at that time, they were also trying to revamp their digital scene. And they were trying to figure out, how do I update my website, or, how do I get a new brand online? And they were getting extremely large bids as well. And, here I am in the closet, working on computers and stuff like that. They're coming up to me like, hey, do you mind looking at this? What do you think about it? You must know technology and therefore, pricing stuff. And I remember looking at it, and it's like, wow, people are charging a lot of money. I'll do it for half the price, or, just whatever I could. And they'd be like, yeah, we trust you. Go on and run with it. And the fun part about that journey was, picking up awesome projects along the way. And, and it turned into bigger things. I was doing development with databases and things of that nature. And it turns into this world where it's a feast and famine, right? Like, you pick up a project, your head's down, you're excited, you're executing against it, you deliver it. And it's this never ending thing. You can never close the project because there's always changes and stuff. And you're like, I just want to be done, only to realize that once it's done, you're back to nothing. So now you got to go chase your next project. And then from there, it was like, well, for me to really help a business grow, I need to figure out how to get as close as I can to the revenue line, right? And then that's where I made the shift to really focusing on things like SEO, lead generation, PPC, anything at the top, Facebook ads or whatever, to really help push a business forward, mostly for small business. And, going down that model, able to grow it, for a large, had a marketing agency, about 20 people working in the agency.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. When you started your agency, were you like just a one-man show? Did you immediately start outsourcing things? How did you, because I know a lot of people are just starting their agency here, and I think it's completely valuable to hear
Oh,
from other
100%.
people's perspective. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how did all of that unfold?
Yeah, so I'm a bootstrapper by nature. So, it was me and myself and I, we are a team of one for the longest time. And what really happened was I've always built up my network just from word of mouth. And one of the referrals that I got turned into a big organization that had probably about 6 locations. And at that point, it was like, wow, for me to really do this, I need to bring on one other person. And all I did was just go on Craigslist and type out, a job request and basically said, I need someone who's an expert in Google and Facebook. And luckily, out of nowhere, somebody happened to be that person and actually was in a lot of the same, industry stuff. Like they knew certain influencers and things like that. And they just happened to be in market and they joined me. And then from there, we just needed more. And so from there, we just kept hiring more and more and got it up to 20. And then, we started hiring internationally, some in office. So we also wanted to have the account manage it concept where, you had named representatives representing accounts. And, I ran into many challenges. One of them was because I was relationship built, all roads led back to Robin. So it didn't matter who I put to run that account. It's, well, what does Robin think? Or this doesn't feel right. I'm just going to go ahead and call Robin, let him answer. So it didn't matter. I was always involved. And the good part of it was my, hands were always on everything. So I knew everything that was going on. But back to me, myself, and I, where you think it's a team of 3, it's really just me. So I definitely got overworked, overwhelmed. And, running an agency, you deal with many different challenges. And the 2 most important ones is churn, right? You're trying to do whatever you can to keep a customer. And inevitably in a marketing agency, you will lose it because it's very little stickiness factor, mostly in the small business space. You are constantly trying to deliver for your customer, but if they actually don't see dollars in their pocket, you will lose them. And so really figuring out that attribution is the problem there. And then the second part is, of course, the scaling because of churn, because you're at a pivotal point. Either I have to keep my customer, I need to spend more time in operations. And really what that operations is going deeper into that agency or into that small business and really trying to say, hey, as the agency or as the individual, I'm doing everything I promised to you. Full stop. I'm doing everything I promised to you. But you see, I'm delivering you all these results. From my perspective, you're supposed to take it on from their customer and turn those into new deals for them, but inevitably the dentist is always going to be the dentist. The flower shop owner is always going to be the flower shop owner. They're not going to be great at sales. They don't know what to do with leads, things of that nature. So I, was always concerned about churn. So instead of continuing to sell more, I focused more on the operation side. So that's where I went down this rabbit hole of like, how can I solve it for the small business owner so that I know my team is the best at driving leads to Facebook ads, Google ads, and things like that. We could do that all day long. How do I make sure that the business owner is going to take those leads and doing what we tell them to do to close on the back end? Because if I can solve that, I'm stuck forever. Right. So we were trying many different things. And I remember being in the office of my team and we mapped out this whole idea of like, man, I wish we could automate these things that we're telling our customers. Because we would tell them when a lead comes in, you have 5 minutes. The MIT lead study says you need to call a lead within 5 minutes. And if you don't, it takes 5 to 7 more engagements just to get them back to that same level again. So we tell our customers, hey, we sent you a lead, call them. And they would come back saying, oh, we did. And then you'd go deeper into it and you realize, yeah, you're calling, but you're just letting it ring once and then you're hanging up. You're not trying to call them. Or, you find out that they called and it'd go to voicemail. They wouldn't leave a voicemail. So now you have to coach them. All right, next time, let's now leave a voicemail. But the stress there, right? You're doing like monthly cadence calls with them. So they're already angry month 1. You're trying to coach them for month 2 to doing more work. And you still have to continue delivering results at the same time. And you're just having to baby step them through. So it's like this, contentious relationship. But we were like, man, there's got to be a way that we can automate it. But when we had this idea on a whiteboard, and by complete luck, I had a customer of mine who called me and said, hey, I have these two guys. They're trying to launch a reputation management software. They're new. They don't know what they're talking about when asking the questions, and I don't even know how to answer these questions. Can you just talk to them and give them the logins or whatever they need so that they can get online? They're talking a different language. And so I got on a call with them, and that happened to be Sean and Varun, and they were launching a reputation management software, and they had, call it 10 customers at the time, and they were losing them because they didn't know really what to tell customers, and gave them access. And then I was like, hey, so what exactly does your product do, and what's the value prop? Can I use it in my agency? They were trying to explain it to me, and I was like, okay, well, I see bits and pieces, but I have this idea. And I remember getting up, going into my conference room, taking pictures of what was on the whiteboard and put it up on the screen. It's like, but can you guys do this along with your product? And if you can, I know a lot of people that would buy it. And I would buy it, for our 250 customers. I'd love to buy it. And they're like, huh, okay, well, let me get back to you. Or we'll call you in a couple of days. That was the exact response. And I was just like, okay, they're just brushing me off. They didn't have an answer. You never know. And then, things slid by. And then 3 or 4 days later, I remember getting a call, and I was driving to the office, and, I answer calls like, oh, this is odd. It's 8 a.m. Who's calling me? Answer it. And it's like, it was Sean. So I'm like, hey, can you get on this computer? We want to show you something. And I was like, well, first off, who is this again? Like, I just completely forgot, that someone was going to call me back about it, brush it off. So I get to the office, and then once again, I forget about it. Your day starts, you're talking to people, things like that. 2 hours later, Sean calls me. He's like, hey, I thought you were going to call me back. Where are you? And he's very persistent. And I get on a call, and they show me everything. And this was basically HighLevel pre 1.0. And it had basically the conversations page, the opportunity board, and campaigns and triggers. And it was everything that we had mocked up, and we basically built out the first automation sequence. So when a lead comes in, do this follow-up on behalf of our customers. And I was like, this is awesome. Let me try it on our co-customer that we had together. Immediate success. And I was like, well, let me try it to 10 more customers. Very quickly, they found success. And I was like, all right, this is awesome. Let's go ahead and load it up to the rest of our clients, and we'll pay you. But I want to give you guys value because I know you guys are starting up. I know other agencies in the space who would love this. And I basically, was like, let me just offer to them and see what happens. And we reached out to 20 agencies that I knew. And everyone knows the agency space. It's everyone wants a lot of things, but time is the hardest part. And everyone's like, yes, 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 we're in. And then people would ghost me, they're busy, they're meeting and stuff. And so I just went to the people that were engaged with me, and got on a call with them, got them onboarded. And my pitch was, look, if you like this, it's just early. No one has access to this. If it works for your business, after 30 days, you can decide if you want to keep it. And if you keep it, it's going to be $1,000 for life. Or we'll close out your account. No harm, no foul, right? And all 13 came back and said, this is amazing. We want to buy it. And then the word got out, there's this secret software that so you're starting to hear it in a lot of different circles in the agency space. And one of those 13 happened to be, Rob Bailey, who's, a up and coming coach at that time. He actually had sold his agency, had a really strong exit there, and wanted to get into the coaching space. And he was like, hey guys, this is awesome. I'm actually doing an event in San Diego in 2 weeks. I'd love for you guys to come and pitch it. So Sean and Varun, we were like, let's do it. Nothing to lose at this point. So Varun, who's actually in Qatar, the third co-founder, is in Qatar and couldn't make it. So Sean and I went to San Diego. Literally in the plane, I'm creating the website, the landing pages to take orders. And very little expectation. It was actually the first time that I met Sean on site. We get there, and we get 30 minutes. So we're on stage, and it's not really a stage. You're in a conference room, basically. You have Varun, who's on a screen behind us, and we're just talking about the software. We didn't have a presentation or anything. We just show this product and just do a demo, essentially. And the room is quiet. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's it. Our time is up. End of fun trip in San Diego. And everyone's like, wait, don't sit down there. Hold on. And what happened was everybody is looking at the landing page. And all of a sudden our phones are vibrating because it's, sales are coming in and we're like, oh no, what's going on? And it was a fun moment because Varun, who's on camera, you just see a smiling face. But what people don't realize is he had a spreadsheet open of new orders coming in and he's manually typing out login instructions to all the orders, but no one knew, right? Everyone just assumed it was all ready to go and all, at that point. And there was 20 people in the room, 20 people virtually. And I think we got 39 sales from that first event. And the 40th person eventually came like a week later.
I
And
absolutely love that everything that you said that just happened, that you guys went through, none of it had anything to do with running paid ads to find these partners. It had nothing to do with having a large following or creating content or any of that stuff. So everyone who's listening here, when you're like, how do I get my first client? It's like, listen to what Robin's saying, because this networking and the things that they're doing and just the hustle, Sean didn't just let Robin not answer the phone. He called back,
yeah,
so all of these things, they were hustling and they were doing what they had to do to make their business successful. So I absolutely love and admire that 100%.
yeah. I mean, we're pretty relentless in a lot of areas, and a lot of it is in our marketing. We don't do a lot of the traditional PPC ads and Google ads. We're definitely believers in, the grassroots efforts, the guerrilla marketing. Can we be in the communities? Can we do stuff like this, right? This is actually how we actually get true feedback. This is actually how we understand what's going on in the market and what's working and what's not. And I love seeing everyone's faces, and I love seeing the smiles and the reactions, or even the angry faces when we release something, or the confusion, like, what's like, now we know, like, people don't realize, like, I'm constantly taking notes and taking it back to team, like, that didn't hit very well. Let's get some more information on why it didn't work or didn't work. But that is our model. And even back then when we started, in that moment, we got all those orders, and it was our job to get everyone onboarded. So it was Sean, Vern, and me calling every single one of those individuals who ordered, saying, hey, let's get you signed up. Let's get you onboarded. So let me get you to log in. Let me get you to some point of success.
And I
Whatever that
love that
success
you
is.
did not have all of this ready, okay?
No,
Because
no, I
so
mean,
many people think you need to have this whole perfect, beautiful website with this amazing logo and all of these automations and this beautiful onboarding course before they ever even start like trying to promote what they're doing. So I
yeah.
love all of that. So you guys listen, they had all of these people signing up. They did not have all of their ducks in a row. They did not have everything perfect, and they just made it happen. They
Oh,
just did it.
to this day, there is no such thing as perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. It is
Right.
literally that feeling of, if I can find a way to make you smile and feel like you got to your version of success, I've done my job. And that's what we did. And so every single customer, one of us is calling you, trying to get you on a Zoom call, getting you set up, to a world where you feel like it's completely set up for you. Once we got that nod, we would ask, hey, while we have you on the line, do you know 2 other people that would love this software? And the motto there, right? Birds of a feather flock together. And so we would always ask for 2, knowing that if we can get 1 is a great day. And we'd be relentless with it. Like, oh yeah, you mentioned, Bridget. Actually, do you know if she's around right now? Do you think she would jump onto a Zoom call? Because, in the online space, you can message somebody, text them or whatever. And we would literally just do the awkward stare of like, yeah, just bring them on in. I'm like, okay. Right. And then people would come in, and then we would just do our pitch, and we would just keep that motion going. And to this day, we still do that exact same thing. So this is some fun numbers, right? Like, it was us 3 doing it. We grew it just word of mouth, got up to 500 customers. And we basically said, well, we're growing. Varun, you need to go and start building up the dev team and start hiring so we can get support and stuff really going, because it was just us 3 doing everything. And then it was Sean and me. And so I stayed on doing onboardings and really trying to help on the front lines till about 6,000 customers. So really, like, the first 6,500 customers, it is, I mean, people remember me from back in the day doing onboardings, and Sean stuck around till about 11,000 customers. And then at that point, while he was, handling on the front end. I was doing a lot of hiring and really trying to backfill. And really, to this date, anyone who signs up, we want to get somebody on our team to help you get onboarded free of charge, because we look at it as a long tail. If I can get you to any point of success today and you see my face, you learn my name, there's a connection there. And you're inspired to stay on longer versus you going to any other software. And there's many different options. But if you don't have any attachment to it, I didn't get time to set it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel. And so with our model, because we're hands-on, you will take my call or you will take my message or you'll reach out to me when you have a problem, right? So there's more of a vested interest on both sides. So that's the model that we still run today. And the only thing that we've done is just try to 10x that same thing with just more people. Not a lot of tech, not a lot of craziness there. We still do stuff on spreadsheets. We live in Google Sheets. We still do the basics of the basics. There's nothing complicated about our business. It's just helping as many people as possible.
That's why
That's the story.
That's why HighLevel is such a great opportunity if you're an affiliate marketer, because not only do you guys provide way more resources like the automations with First Promoter that we can do, all of those things, most affiliate programs don't offer that. But the fact that you literally, if you had zero experience or knowledge of HighLevel and you're just trying to figure it out and maybe try to build your agency, being an affiliate is such a great way to start earning and paying for your tools while you're learning, because HighLevel does all of this onboarding. They do a free 1 hour onboarding session. They do the Zoom support. All you need to do is just send an email with all of those resources. It's really incredible. And it definitely helped me, because when I first came to HighLevel, I had like 70 clients and I was moving from another software. So I was trying to me all by myself trying to learn HighLevel, get people moved over. So it was incredibly valuable, that Zoom support for me as the user, but also promoting as an affiliate to be able to tell people, hey, I don't know all the answers, but I have all of these resources that I can give you. And you guys go way above and beyond what most companies do.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely part of our model. And it's not so much of us going above and beyond. I think it's just always being in the shoes of our customers and what would you want in that situation, right? Like any other company, it's, well, I have a problem. I'm going to shoot them an email. I'll get a ticket number back, wait 24 hours. I'll finally come back with some bogus response and then let me send it back and it's 48 hours, right? Like that's just the standard. And so we just know, like, if I was in your shoes, I just want to talk to somebody. How quick can I get to someone's voice? And ultimately, it's hard to still describe the problem. So in reality, we were like, well, the best way to solve it is just getting them on a Zoom call. So we hyper-index to build it to that level. And it's not that we're trying to go above and beyond. We're just trying to get to the outcome that everyone wants. Now, the byproduct of it is because no one else in the industry is doing it that way, it feels like we're going above and beyond. And really, it's just, no, we're just trying to meet our customers where they're at. And so that's why, like I said, there's no craziness behind it. It's just doing what people expect from their outcome.
Yeah, that open office hours with the Zoom, and that's why I do my own open office hours 4 days a week, because of that. I was just so inspired by the availability, because a lot of times, especially with, this techie stuff, we run into problems and we're just alone and we have no one to ask. And it's like you're saying, you can send a video to support and then they'll get back to you. But what if they have a question or you have it's like we could eliminate a lot of this back and forth if we just hopped on the Zoom call, then we could take care of it. So that experience for me as the user is what made me, just like you, I'm thinking, how can I provide the best support for my members? So I was like, oh my gosh, that's a no-brainer, because it's such a great resource. And I hear all the time from people, I just love that I can just hop in here and ask you a question.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's not really above and beyond, but really at the same time, no one's doing it. So it feels that way.
Exactly. And I'll be the first to admit it's not perfect, 100% of the time. There are, issues that run into it. Sometimes we get slammed. And so there's a little bit of a wait time, or, sometimes the rep doesn't know. And, it could turn the call sideways. Like we still run into the normal stuff, but I think it's more about the sentiment at the end of the day. As long as you have that willing hand to go in and assist, that is what's missing just in the whole software space. And that's what we're trying to fill that gap on, because we know the challenges. I was an agency owner. I understand the struggles that you guys are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And so when you're in that moment, I know that feeling of my customer is mad that the site is down or something's not working, and you're panicking because that's your livelihood in many cases. So I need somebody to be my support on the back end who's going to meet me understanding that problem and really trying to chase it down. I don't want to send an email and have to wait until my customer, tech support said they'll get back to me in 3 days, so we'll see. And then they miss that, and I'm still waiting. Let me try to, escalate it again. So that's really what we're trying to solve for, is really just trying to meet our customers where they're at.
Does anybody have any questions for Robin? Terry probably does. I say no questions. Ray?
Just a brief question. What did you do in the early days when someone called and you didn't have an answer? You'd say, I'll get back to you tomorrow or next week or whatever. How could you smooth it over when you didn't have the answer?
Well, if somebody called me or like right now, I have somebody messaging me on Facebook Messenger saying, hey, something's not working. My normal response is, oh no, that's not good. Let's jump on a Zoom call and show me exactly what you're doing. Replicate it with me. And I'd be like, ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Try this. Nope, that didn't work. Try that. That didn't work. Okay, there's something here. Let me run it down. And can I message you back here in an hour with an update or what the game plan is going to be? And everyone's like, yes. Okay. At least many times when we talk about internally, it's like you're talking someone off a ledge. They know they have a problem. They just need to vent about it first. Then they're going to show you the problem. And then that buys you enough time to start figuring out a solution for them. So if you can get them to get it off their chest, the world is falling apart. I know, I'm right there with you. You have to, meet them there, be empathetic, and then let them expose the problem to you. And then if you can't solve it, it's just saying, don't worry, I'm right here. Just give me a little bit of time to get you an answer. And then basically I'd run it back to Varun or, to other team members like, hey, what can we do here? What's the solution? And just get other people involved. And as soon as we had some form of an update, I would just call and say, hey, looks like the problem is XYZ. Like here's the problem. The solution, we're doing a solution now. We're putting a bug fix, or actually we found the wrong problem. The button is now updated or whatever, or it's, hey, it might take 2 days. But what, I would just strategize on the call with them saying, what can we do in the meantime? Are you okay with waiting, or do we need to come up with another solution? And so that's really what it is. It's just giving the feeling that you're in it with them and not making it feel like you're just kind of kicking the can.
Well, my question was back in the original 6 months to a year when the three of you were trying to feel each other out and get together and understand. This is a learning process for you, and you keep adding tools because of what you've learned. And I just have a great deal of esteem for all that. The way it kind of fell together, you said it was just the call that they made to you just by accident, you got together and all of that. But the growth process that you had is phenomenal. And it's just, we don't know how to do that, so we'll build a tool to fix it. We don't know how to do that, so we'll work on how to teach, how to build a knowledge base. All of that has just really been fantastic. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's more of I think the three of us have a man with the hammer mentality, where when there's a problem, we're going to figure out a way to get to the finish line one way or another. It might be ugly, it might be dirty. We're willing to roll our sleeves up and figure it out along with you. And if we figure it out for ourselves, we don't want to be gatekeepers. We want to show what we learned so that other people can do the same thing. And because we've always had that mentality, I think that's what also led to our growth, because other people, Bridget, like you said, you kind of took some of our models, and we want it to be open because that's what allows distribution. And I'm a firm believer, and this is one of the things that we talk about here at HighLevel, to our new team members and stuff, is that marketing agencies are the unsung heroes when you talk about the economy and things like that, when an agency helps a local business grow, think of you or an agency helping the real estate agencies or the real estate professionals. And because you're doing all the marketing, you're doing all the lead gen, and that real estate agent becomes the top producer in their area, right? Well, when they make it to the cover of their magazine and they talk about how they got there, do they ever say, well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that marketing agency who did all that hard work? Never happens. Never happens. But who did all the hard work? The marketing agency is getting yelled at every single day. The leads are not good enough. They're not coming in fast enough. The automations are slow or whatever, and you're having to fine tune it, make it better. And that is where we want to be the advocates for the agencies. We got your back. We're trying to help you because we know the struggles that you're dealing with on the back end. And you're really the reason why the economy is moving in the way that it is, mostly in those local markets. You're allowing the dentist to really provide impact to their community because you're providing them the ability to grow their business as well. And we want to help you in that journey as well.
So where do you go next? You have a cap for how big you're going to be, or is there a thought process about your growth?
So it's a funny question because I think we have to, I feel like we're always forced to come up with some mission driven number or something like that. And in reality, like, I was literally on a call with Sean and Varun, and we're like, oh, sorry, I can't join. I'm on with the customer. They're running into this. Like, we're just in the trenches with everybody. And there's been moments where people have pulled us aside, like, you need to come up with something because everyone's asking us. And, we would come up with stuff where, we wanted to be we want to create a $10 billion economy where can we help generate $9 billion into our agency's pockets, right? Like actual revenue into your pockets. And because of that, the byproduct is that one day at some point we'll be able to be a $1 billion company. But that was just us spitballing for 5 minutes in between customers. But in reality, I mean, we just love doing what we do every day, and we just want to help more people, more agencies, create more in their economies and who they're serving. I mean, I wish I was a bit more inspirational on that front, but we're just in the grind with you guys.
Robin, it's so funny that you just said that because people ask me that all the time. So what's next? What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't, just continuing to do what I'm doing with more people.
100%. Like when we talk about our growth and new features and new things, it's really not new. We are just listening to our customers. We wait until you punch us in the face of, hey, there's this problem, or there's this thing coming up, or the industry is changing. You need to do something. And we're like, fine, okay, we'll go out and build it. We'll understand it because we're right there with you. We've done a few times in our growth where we try to be just like every other company out there. Let's go figure out, let's try to predict where the market is moving. Let's try to build and try to capture that market segment. And those 2 or 3 times, we failed horribly. Like we would roll it out. No one uses the product. They don't get it. And we're just like, yeah, this is horrible. Why do we do this? Why don't we just go back to just waiting till people put up on the ideas board, or they get on a call with us and explain it? They say they have 300 other people that are advocating for this feature or enhancement. All right, we'll build that. And that's how we continue to build. It's just staying at pace with our customers. We don't need to predict the future. You'll tell me what I need to do next. And once I hear it enough, it's all right, now's the time. If we do it, everyone will jump on and they understand the use case, and it'll go on from there.
Yeah, that it's so smart that you guys do that, because I was just watching the town hall, which if you guys miss this town hall, you have to watch the town halls because they tell you so many cool things that are coming, and probably features you have no idea are even existing right now in your dashboard. But I was hearing Sean talk about like authorized.net and how everybody was like, oh, we got to have this. It's going to be a game changer if we have this. And then like no one uses it. So it's like, and you as the as the software company, you could literally chase down like all of these things that everybody tells you, we have to have this. But then it's like, you're not developing the cool things that people are actually using and wanting. And then you're just wasting time. That's how I think a lot of like all-in-one marketing platforms, they get into this standard trap of like all in one and a master of none. And HighLevel is such a different story because it's like HighLevel is the master of so many cool things. But the integrations, obviously I'm an automation like geek. I love automation. It's the only thing that's going to ever save me time and make me money. So I love automation. But the ability to integrate everything inside of your HighLevel account and not have to worry about Zapier and Pabbly and all of these things that as the agency owner, even just getting access to was a nightmare before, because it's like you're onboarding a client. Okay, I need access to this. I need access to that. And then you're waiting for them to get back to you. Oh, that was the wrong password. I mean, the amount of time that took compared to just all in one in the dashboard, you give them access to it's really incredible.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a trade-off there, because I think people get overwhelmed when they go to the town halls because we're doing so many different updates and different enhancements. And, the way that I explain it to people is we have different paths that customers come in. As an agency owner, you might specialize in Facebook lead gen, right? So you're coming into HighLevel for certain core features, and we have teams dedicated to those products and paths. And so think of us basically having 30 different companies underneath us, all with their own CEOs, and they're trying to put their features and enhancements out. Some of those may not be relevant to you, but they're going to be relevant to the next person. But there's still a core that all roads lead back to, which is, conversations, calendars, and the CRM, like everything leads back into that. And so, my advice to everyone is like, don't feel like you have to know everything. Just figure out the right features and enhancements that's really applicable to what you're already serving and delivering to your customers. And because you're providing so much value to your customers, very similarly, they're going to now start asking you of like, wow, you're providing me so much value. Can you do these other things that I'm trying to figure out or I'm doing somewhere else? Can you start doing that? And when you start hearing those signals, that's when you start investigating other opportunities or other features or enhancements that we have. But short of you seeing it and hearing about it, don't feel like you need to learn it to the nth degree. And that's the only way that you're going to, get it to your customer. Wait till your customer asks for it. Just know that it exists. That's just the only thing that I recommend. Don't get overwhelmed with everything that you have going on. Stay in your lane and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, that is so, so true. I did want to ask you, so I love the idea of HighLevel, using it in different ways than just an agency. I think it's really, I think a lot of people they think, oh, HighLevel, I don't want to be an agency. And there's just so many opportunities. Reselling SaaS, network marketing. If you work for a network marketing company or you're promoting a network marketing company, you're going to have new people. They're going to need digital assets. They're going to need all of these things. So if you really wanted to be, big in that network marketing company, you can provide all of these things for a charge or a bonus for signing up for all of that. I love that idea, but what are some of the like outside of the box use cases you've seen other HighLevel agencies using HighLevel for?
Yeah, some fun ones. So through an agency, I've seen two different versions of this use case. One is for one of the largest professional sports leagues that their season started yesterday. So I'll leave it at that. The agency actually sold licenses to them, very expensive licenses, by the way, for every team, so that they have authorized people who need to manage like a group of 5 teammates, so that, hey, we're doing an event, be there at this time, and they're supposed to text back with this person. So think of almost like a personal assistant to 5 players, and they sold that to the whole league. And so I thought that was a crazy use case. That same agency also went to the largest internet online retailer, starts with the A, and you probably know where it ends there. But they basically said, so you have all these delivery trucks that you guys are spinning up. How do you guys communicate from because they're all franchises. So from the franchise headquarters, how do you communicate with all your drivers? And they're like, oh, we don't have a tool for that. And everyone does it differently. And they're like, oh, perfect. That they didn't close the deal with corporate. They went to all the franchisees saying, hey, we have this tool. It's just a text tool between you and your drivers. And they sold tons of licenses that way. Thought that was interesting. Another one was someone had an e-commerce store and they wanted to basically text anytime an order went out, they wanted to text, hey, here's the tracking number. And what they did with that through that flow was, hey, here's the tracking number, save my number. And now we can now start sending you monthly coupons to come back to the e-commerce store again. So I thought that was genius in itself there. People are using it for applicant tracking systems in the recruiting space, which I thought was interesting. There's so many different crazy. Oh, but when COVID was at its height, people were using the platform as an employee tracker. So every morning you wanted to send a text notification out to your team before you come in, fill out the survey, and it was if you felt sick, it would alert the manager, so the manager can now start tracking against it. So they sold that to a government entity and sold it from there. So I think just like the creativity that I've seen is just all over the place, but it's really cool to see what people are able to pull off. And one other cool thing is that we just released our marketplace. So other third-party companies are now building integrations with us. And so now we become basically a true engine and we can play, kind of in a broader space to be able to accomplish cool things there.
Honestly, I feel like of all the smart decisions you guys have made, that's the smartest one. Because why do people like WordPress? Because WordPress is, you can move it around. There's so many plugins and all of these things. People can build their entire businesses around these like integrations with WordPress. So HighLevel is basically the same thing. It's like all of these companies. And again, as an affiliate, I love this. Here's that fly again. I love this because it gives me, not only do I have like this audience of high-level agency owners, but I also can help them. I can help provide solutions to them that I always hear all the time. What's how do I provide loyalty services? How do I, are there AI paid ad tools? Like all of these things that can be integrated into HighLevel because you guys have made it so easy to do that. It's really incredible. It's not just HighLevel. It's HighLevel, and then all of this like entire ecosystem of business owners building their software based off of HighLevel.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're just a toolbox with a bunch of tools. What I recommend, and actually there was a fine gentleman who flew all the way from Australia and came to our Dallas office. I was like, I can't be at your event, but I just wanted to say thank you guys. You guys have turned me. I was having just a basic regular 9-to-5 job, and I started jumping on. I tried to sell SaaS, but I couldn't because it was just selling features. But what his aha moment was, and what really grew his business, and he was about to hit 7 figures, and he was saying how his son is now joining and they have a huge team. The biggest change was he started going to businesses and just saying, what is your biggest problem every single day? And he said the first thing that someone said was like, yeah, we get, all this interest from our online contact us form, and it takes about 24 to 48 hours. And we get this stack of people that we need to contact. And the biggest thing is we need to send them a PDF of our brochure. And he's like, so if I do that, what does that actually save you guys? I'm like, oh, that saves us about 60 hours a month because they got to go pull the file from here and do this. He's like, oh, I could do that. Can you give me a day? And so what he did was he launched a new sub account, built the automation, took him about an hour, went back to the customer, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. How much is it? And he's like, oh, that's it. And he's like, well, you said it saves about 60 hours. You're probably hiring somebody $400 a month. I'm like, oh, easy. And once he had that aha moment, it was no longer about selling the features. It was just selling a solution, knowing that he had the best toolbox available to solve the solutions for people. So now he's going around in Australia, going to businesses, and just basically he's called himself the problem solver. So he's like, I'm going to come in and I just want to hear about all your problems completely free. And if I find a solution that makes sense for you guys, you're going to pay me. And he said, that's like the easiest sales pitch. Someone's willing to help solve any of my problems for free. Of course, I'll give him a shot. And he says every single time he's just closing deals. And now he has about 400 customers on recurring and hitting, 7 figures very soon, or at 7 figures, and growing incredibly fast. And was like, yeah, I just wanted to take a quick flight to Dallas, all the way from the other side of the world. I was here with my son. We're vacationing for 3 weeks. And the nice thing is I can work anywhere in the world. Just wanted to shake your hand, say thank you. And we're flying back tomorrow. Just hearing those stories is incredible.
Mhm. It's so motivating because I'm sure you're like, because I feel this all the time when people tell you, oh, you help me so much. And it's like, I'm really just doing what I love to do every day. And the side effect of that is I get to hear those things. It's like, I don't really know how to take it because it's so humbling. But also at the same time, it's like, I am so glad that helped you, but I am also just living the dream. And so I just love doing this. And I'm so glad that it helped you as a side effect.
It is, yeah, definitely paradoxical in those moments for me, because it's, oh my gosh, like you stopped me in my tracks to tell me this incredible story. It's hard for me to take it all in because it's coming out of left field, right? And then at the same time, somebody else is having a problem, so I got to go jump over there to help. So it's like hard for me to like savor the moment, but it's so incredible hearing those stories. But sometimes I'm like, oh, it's awesome, but I gotta go to the next person and make sure that they can get that same level of success too. So, but it is awesome hearing those stories every single day, and that's really what drives us. Is if I can just make sure everyone is happy and successful, we're all going to win together, and we want everyone to be a part of that party somehow, some way.
Yeah, if you just focus on solving problems, the money will come.
Yeah.
But you can't be like money led. Otherwise, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole market. So many people, so important what you said, because so many people ask me all the time, well, when I go to these meetings, what do I say? And it's like, that's immediately the wrong way to even think. It's what do you ask? It's just like you were saying, you go in and you ask, what are the problems? Because in your mind, you want to be the solution. So if they have a problem with this, now you know exactly, you don't need to worry about features. You just want to solve the problem. It's just like that. Okay, well, we need to do this so we can download the PDF. Well, he just solved the problem. He didn't say, well, we have the conversations tab and you can do this and that, because they don't care about that. What they care about is their specific problem and can you solve it? So yeah, I totally love that.
And I think as agency owners, sometimes, you get too far in the trenches where you are solving a problem, sure, but you get away from what the final outcome is of why they came to you. So as a small business owner, they might come to you saying, hey, I need a marketing agency, or I need software to doing XYZ things. But, or like back in the day, when I was doing lead generation, it's, yeah, we need Facebook ads. And yeah, that all sounds great. Bring it on. But the reason that I thought I was doing well, but I still had churn, was, yes, they needed marketing and all that. But to be honest, I didn't care how the sausage was made. The final outcome, which I kept forgetting about, was they needed dollars and cents into their pocket. And if I couldn't solve that, I was never going to stay around anyways, because it sounds great. Billboards all around the city. It's all over Facebook. I'm everywhere. If I'm not making any money, why the hell am I paying for this again? Why is this guy hanging
That's
around?
so smart. I swear, I think I'm just going to take this transcript and just like put it on my wall of everything that you're saying, because I'm like, that's so smart. But but it is totally true, because a lot of times they will tell you, well, I need a new website, or I need Facebook ads. And then it's like, well, why?
Yeah,
Why do
exactly.
you think that you need that? Because asking why you think you need that is really going to help you get to the real solution. They just think they need Facebook ads because somebody told them that they ran Facebook ads for their business and it was really successful, but they might have a completely different business, and maybe Facebook ads don't work well. Maybe they had a custom audience. There's so many different reasons why they could think that, but they don't always know what the best solution is. And that's really our job, is to provide the best solution.
100%. I remember, a couple of years ago, I was talking to a business and they told me the same thing. We need Facebook ads. We need Facebook ads. That's just going to grow our business. And I went down, well, what is the outcome that you want? Right. And then when I started peeling the onion back, I realized that they were actually doing really well just through Google search. And they were receiving a ton of contact, like they had a form on their website, and they were probably getting about 20, 30 forms a day. Right. And I was like, are you sure you need Facebook ads? Because I see a lot of leads. What are you guys doing with those? Oh, I mean, none of those really close. And then I started reading them, and it's like, give me a quote for this. I think it was like a fencing or pergola company or something like that. And these, high ticket, $10,000 jobs, redo my whole backyard, just high ticket stuff. And they were just like, yeah, we'll call them eventually, or, they just didn't take it seriously. And I was like, I don't think Facebook ads is going to solve your problem, because I'll give you more of those people though, asking you, how much does this cost? I'm throwing you money. Please solve my problem. And so I basically said, before I do that, let me build some automation. Let's see if we can actually move this along. And that's what we focused on. And I never ran Facebook ads for them. It was just getting them to the outcome that they actually wanted. And I talked them off a ledge. You didn't really need Facebook ads the whole time. You can't keep up with what you have today.
That's so true. You're so smart, Robin.
I'm not smart. It's just, finding the obvious, and let's solve it together.
I think that would be debatable. I think everyone here would disagree that you're not smart. Does anybody have any questions for Robin before I let him go and we spin the wheel and do all that fun stuff? No? All right.
Oh, I do real quick. Just, first of all, thanks for jumping on this call and being with us. It's true that as a solopreneur out here wanting to speak the language and having people understand what you're talking about, you have to have people who, are with you in it. So really appreciate that. I'm wondering what you're seeing looking ahead as being the thing that's just really rocking your world, that you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, that's really exciting. What do you see out ahead of you that is really just making you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I think hearing more stories of people actually executing and what we're, kind of the message that we're putting out there. We have great tools, but don't try to sell the feature, sell the solution. And selling it as a subscription for the solution, the end solution, right? Not just as a typical software, things like that. We're seeing so many people actually growing with that model, and seeing kind of the outcome of it is really amazing to see. From a direct features perspective, I think we're launching a lot of cool stuff where it's like conversational AI and things like that, which, there's two parts to it. I think it's going to do some really cool things for small businesses. I think the greater impact, though, is you as the agency have a cool solution for small businesses because they think that's what's going to save their business. But, one of the models that we talk about here is sometimes you just have to sell people on what they want. They're not going to get off that hill. I'm talking to you, David, because I need this thing. I know you're selling me on other stuff. It sounds great. I don't care. I need that new thing, that new shiny object. Sometimes you guys just sell them on what they want. But then what you do is once you have the relationship with them, you need to give them what they need, right? And so when I talk about AI, we're doing a lot of stuff with AI because that's what everyone's asking for, because their customers hear it and they think that that's going to solve their business. And if you're not doing AI, you're going to fall back. Reality, that's not the case, but it doesn't matter. You have to somewhat deliver that to them. So that's exciting there. But really on the other side of it, what people really need is being able to capture payments faster, being able to, if I can get every field service guy, an HVAC company, if I can make it easier for you to go in, quote that you need a new AC, and on your mobile phone, you can take that customer's credit card and tap it and make that sale happen. That is actually more impactful. And those are the cool features I talk about, but it's not as glamorous versus I saying I have AI coming out next week, like, you can accept payments. Okay, whatever. But, I think the value that I really see there is traditionally in that example, someone would have to come to my house, quote me out, and they're going to say, okay, well, let me handwrite it out. Here's kind of the quote. You say, okay, that sounds cool. How do we process this? Well, you see, the problem is I got to run back to my office, formalize the quote, and it's already 6 p.m. So wait till I get back in the office tomorrow at 8. Tomorrow at 8, I got to get my coffee. And by the time I figure out how to get all the products set up on here, it's 10 o'clock. here I am burning in my house in the meantime, right? And because I'm angry, I'm not going to call the next person who's willing to take my payment immediately. And that's where I see, actual productivity and engagement coming in from an agency, but you can't sell that. There's no sizzle there. So we're kind of playing both angles. But that's what's exciting to me, is that we're able to really follow the agencies. They're telling us what they're hearing, and we're trying to sift through what's the sizzle versus what's the real meat that we can put together there.
Yeah, that's so true, because really we do want those shiny. We want to say, when people are like, well, do you have AI because there's the fly. Do you have AI because this platform has this and that? And we just want to be able to say yes.
You just want to say yes, of course we do. Yeah.
We've had that.
Yeah, one of the analogies that we used to always talk about is when we're out telling people about HighLevel, we'd say all these cool features and stuff like that. And, we'd always do it akin to like being a carnival barker, right? Hey, come on in my tent. I have this really crazy dragon. He has flames coming out of his mouth. He's 12 feet tall, and it's all that. And people are like, oh, well, that's cool. But where's the lions at? Right? Where's the tigers? Like, no, did you not hear me? I have this crazy dragon in here that no one has ever seen before. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But what about that monkey? Like, I want to see that. And so now it's like, okay, fine. In the tent, yes, we also have monkeys and lions in there. Go in there. And then while you're in there, check out this cool dragon. And that's where that, sell them on what they want. Doesn't matter what you tell them. They're not going to get off the hill. So just sell them on what they want. And then you also can give them what they truly need as well.
Yeah, that's so true. Just like the missed call text back, it's incredibly valuable. You can start with that and then just upsell to other things. Maybe they start with the missed call text back and they're like, I really need an AI tool to create my images. Well, now you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead and play with that, but we're hooking up what you really need, which is the missed call text back and all the other, important features that's really going to drive your business forward.
Yeah. Or, hey, I'll throw in this AI tool for free if you sign up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Robin, for joining us. I really appreciate your time. I will go ahead and let you go, or you can just hang out with us, and we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel. We do this every single Friday. Whoever wins will receive 5 reseller licenses for our Elm tools or a private consultation with me. So, Robin, feel free to hang out, or you can hop out. I'm sure you're busy, but thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's great to see everyone's incredible faces. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Okay, guys, I do want to make sure that I have everyone. So if I do not call your name, please let me know. Ray, Maria, Ricky, Frankie, Terrence, Terry, Cindy, David, and Janai. Am I missing anyone? Okay, so let's spin the wheel. Ta-da! Ricky hasn't won in a while.
I know, right?
That's awesome. Ricky, do you want a 30-minute private consultation with me or 5 reseller licenses?
Reseller.
All righty. I will get them added to your account and send you an email to let you know that I did. Anybody else have any questions for me or anything before I let you go?
I got one quick question. I wasn't here last week when you did the thing about the snapshot, the new snapshot. I did watch that. Is it I've sent an instant message to you or whatever to get that? Is that what I do?
Yeah, just go to my website. That way, because when you message me there, it pulls up your profile and all that.
Okay.
And I won't forget. So just go to bridgetbartlett.com in the chat there. Just message me there, and then just let me know, hey, I want to link to the snapshot.
Cool. Great. Good work, by the way. That was pretty impressive.
Thanks. All right, guys, you have anything else before we go?
Hey, Bridget, I got something real quick if you can answer. I was trying to share a membership area. Is there a way to do it without the lead capture part of it, the email and the name?
You mean without sending the member the name or the login credentials?
I guess without someone having to log in.
So
'Cause
you're
I'm
not,
trying to do it for a team, and you know how leaders don't want other people to have their people's personal information type situation.
yeah.
So,
So what you need to do is, let me get logged in here. Have you created an offer for it?
no, not yet.
Okay. So let me actually send you, because it's a little process here, but let me send you the link to the knowledge base, because this will better explain it to you than
Okay.
I can quickly. There's a few steps to it. But the gist of it is what you need to do is create a offer. So you have like fly. So you have the
Oh, you mean the
product.
offer? Yeah, I do have that in there. The product offers.
Yeah. And so you have the offer. As long as you have that, then I can probably just show you quickly in here what you need to do. Let me get into my demo account here, and then I'll show you. Oh, come on, Zoom. Zoom is hiding my share screen button from me. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is the demo account, just to back up a little bit. Okay, so we have the products in here. Okay, and then you need to have an offer that contain the products that you want to give. Okay, so this is like offer one, and it only contains this. Everyone's going to be logging into the same link that no matter what, right? So you have your link, and that is set in the if you're before we had the client portal, it was set in the marketing tab. If you didn't set it up before then, you have to set it up in the client portal. That's what's going to add your custom domain there. So do you have that part done?
Yes.
Okay, so once that is done, then what you need to do is go to the contact. Okay, so let me just pull up a random contact here. And then you will see down here, it says offers. So what you have to do is add that person that you want to give access to the course to, add them as a contact if they're not already, and then you need to select one of these offers. So if I wanted to give this person offer one, I would select that. And as long as the membership area is set up correctly, you'll get login credentials. And when I say set up correctly, it just needs to be
So they would still have to be in my database no matter what.
yes.
Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Yeah. So if you created a course or something like that for a client, they need to have their own separate sub account.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
There is a specific training. If you look in memberships, go to the knowledge base and search membership. You'll find tons and tons of training on how to configure everything to make sure that it's set up.
Yeah, I got it set up like the way it's supposed to be, but I was trying to do a workaround them having to give me their information.
Yeah, they have to have that because it's the membership area. So it has to be locked down. So they need to have login credentials to be able to access it.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
That's what it is. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you all on Monday. And we're going to talk about some automations next week, some really cool automation strategies for you guys. And on Monday, I'm going to show you how, this is for Terry specifically, but I'm going to show you how you can create a form. And within that form, you can have your client input custom values, and then you can have that automatically update the custom values inside of a sub account. So that is super cool. I'm going to show you how to do that. That opens up a whole world of automations and onboarding that is shocking. It's so amazing. So I'm going to show you all of that on Monday, and we'll talk more about automations next week. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to go kill this fly that's been driving me nuts, and I will see you all on Monday, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality.